How's it going, everyone? Can't wait for the Saturday stream. I'm going to do the best I can to keep it consistent. It's hard to completely. I'm a man of my word, but it's hard to stick to Saturdays because I coach most of the times in the week, and some Saturdays I'll be going out with friends, or sometimes I go and stay with my family. But I make a commitment to do a stream at least once a week. I do think Saturdays are the best. I'm in the best mood for Saturdays, and usually we get the most amount of people on. So we'll do the best we can. And I've got loads of stuff that I'm working on. I'll talk about that today. I'll get your questions in. I've made some notes. I did about 2-3 hours of writing notes when I was at the airport coming back from Latvia. I made loads of notes on anxiety, the best things that I've learned, how to conquer it, how to build confidence, how to learn about it, how to understand it, many different things. Also a collection of a lot of the questions I get from clients, from all of you. And so a lot of studying, a lot of writing, and a lot of processing my more than, you could say a 20-year journey of facing my own anxieties, overcoming most of them, not all of them, and improving some. So a lot of information I've been gathering. I've been sharing my story, a lot of plans for business, for going on podcast shows. I've started that. I'm also really pleased with how my clients are doing on the 1-year program. They're doing wonderful. Phil's doing amazing. He's a great person. He's making a great impact already running his business. He's helping men and women who have social anxiety to build confidence, social skills, honesty, and improve all areas of their life. He's helping other people with businesses. So my clients are doing well. There's a lot of positives going on, and I've appreciated the support that I've been getting on Instagram with the weight loss challenge. I'm going to explain what that's about, because I feel like a lot of you, obviously, you don't know all of my story. You don't know what my vision is. And most of it includes helping people. Pretty much all of it does. So I'm working on getting myself in the best shape I can, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to be a blessing to others. And obviously I'm in a great place, but it's an ongoing, it's a daily thing for me. And we're going to talk about that on this live stream. A lot of people, I think, are in the wrong mindset when it comes to overcoming anxiety, living a better life, achieving goals, living their dreams. And they've got this sort of mindset of everything's put off in the future. And that's why a lot of people don't succeed, or they, it's all here and there, breadcrumbs, because they're always pushing things away. And that's what anxiety does. So I've made a lot of notes today, and I'm going to read, if you don't mind me saying, I'm going to read this wisdom out, because this has all been through my own experiences as a teacher for 12 years and as a fellow sufferer of anxiety and a practitioner. It's a combination of so many honest, real life experiences and things that you can apply right now and see the results that you get. So, on my back bottom. I also I weren't going to do it, but I'm excited. I've set up a TikTok account. I was really not going to do it. I don't really like the idea of it, but for some reason, I got the inspiration yesterday, and it feels good, because at the end of the day, I'm just putting positive stuff out. I'm not going to focus on who's doing negative things or who's being unkind. That's not what I'm about. So I decided that it's a good idea. Whatever platform you're on, you can always choose to be kind and just focus on what you're doing. I don't have to get involved with negativity. And I'm surprised there's a lot of positivity on there. And I think that's a rule of thumb for anywhere you go in life, because we could always say, well, people are negative on this platform, or people are negative in this part of the world. But at the end of the day, it's a personal choice how you behave. So if let's just say, for argument's sake, if there's a lot of negativity, I've heard there's a lot of negativity on TikTok and unhealthy ego and things like that. But let's say that's true. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's what I've heard. That's what people have told me. So let's say 70% of people are negative and nasty. Well, I'm going to be the 30% of people that are nice and kind. And I think when you've got that attitude in life, you're always going to do better in life. And that's that's been said many times, but it needs to be said on a daily basis because it takes people time to realize that. So ultimately, we could all blame and say, well, these people are negative and that platform's negative. But if you're not positive yourself, then you're only adding to the problem. You're not making a difference. But I understand people. You can have your opinion and say, well, that platform's negative, so I don't feel I'm gonna stay on that. So I understand that, but you guys and girls understand what I mean. Good to see you as well. So I give it 5 or 10 minutes just to warm up. We'll see how many people come on the stream. My enthusiasm isn't going to change whether it's 1, 2, 20, or 20,000. So I hope all of you have had a good day. I've had a great day today. It's been a great day of gratitude, of prayer, fitness training. I've had a great day today. I've used the time really well, and I will talk about that today. I got up in the morning. I did my usual praying, and then I got up earlier, which was great. I cleaned the apartment. I went to the gym. I did a light workout with weights, came back home, and then decided, no, I want to go and do a run. So I went and did a run in Regent's Park. I really enjoyed that. Filmed a little bit of a clip so people can get inspired, put that on my Instagram. Came back home, had a shower, got my beard trim, had a coffee, did some more gratitude, relaxed, worked on my mindset, focused on my vision with the people that I want to help, what I want to do, processing things that I'm grateful for, arranged to meet a friend tomorrow. And then here I am doing this live stream. My goal today is I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to do at least 2 hours, a 2-hour stream. I've set that goal and answer questions, help all of you, and also go through the notes and have a great time as well. Overcoming anxiety and improving your life doesn't mean you can't have a good time. As a matter of fact, you can. One of my clients, I just emailed him. He's a lovely guy. He's doing my 1-year program, and he emailed me, and he was saying he's feeling a bit down, right? We all get there. So I wrote to him and I said to him, look, I said, because he said, I know that you've been through this a lot, Jonathan. And I said, I've been through it loads of times. But what I can say to you is going through difficult times and getting down and getting depressed, whatever you want to call it, it was going through that made me a better person. My teaching of recent has come through those stages. And I said to him, and he's a really good guy. Just because you're down and you feel depressed doesn't mean you can't laugh. Doesn't mean you can't find gratitude. You can. Usually in these times, that's where you're more, well, I know not all the time, but that's really when you can really appreciate things. And that's why I've been putting out this message for everybody who wants to learn. Do your daily discipline. Your daily discipline does a number of things. Number one, it decreases your chances of going into dark places, of deep depression, loneliness, anxiety, paranoia, for some people, suicidal thoughts. It protects you from that, right? Number two, it teaches you how to be mentally strong, tough, and have a stronger character. So when you do get days where you get down, and we all get down, we're human. When you are down, you can still thrive in those places. Because I get down as well. But the difference between when I get down now to how I used to be 20 years ago is I have the strength. I can still be kind. I can be grateful. I can find things to do that will get me through. Gratitude. I'll find gratitude. If I can't find happiness and I'm feeling a bit depressed or down or lonely or insecure, however the anxiety makes us feel or me feel, I will find my faith, gratitude, and that will give me strength. And that can sometimes take me out of that place completely and get me feeling even good. So it's also about learning how to be grateful in life when things don't go well. And that is the reality. I think that's one of the problems today with people. And I'll speak more about this when I go on more of these podcast shows. There, people feel this innate pressure that they have to be happy all the time. And if they're not seen to be happy, they're not going to be liked and loved by people, and they're going to be judged harshly. And people are frightened of that, unless they're stronger than that and they've gone through some things. and they feel pressure. They feel like they're not enough. Where the reality is, of course we all want to be happy. And of course, if we could all be happy all the time, we would be. But that's not real life. That's not real life. But it's how you respond. It's who you are. It's the way that you conduct yourself, and how you move forward, which makes the difference, if that makes sense. Intellectually, this won't always make sense, but experientially, when you practice it, I'm telling you, you get better and stronger. And I've noticed the dark days that I have, they're not as strong as they used to be, and I'm able to climb out of them a lot quicker. And that is great, great progress. So that's already something to really take in and practice and master. Right. Now, if I go quiet sometimes on the stream, it's not because I'm awkward, it's because I like having a little bit of silence and relaxing. It's a good skill that I've learned, and I'm not going to speak for the sake of speaking. I'm not going to do that. And I like to give everybody a chance to put their questions in, and I'm not going to rush the stream. I'm not rushing the stream to keep people on. People don't have to stay on the stream if they don't want. I'm not going to take it personal. I'm very happy and grateful to have the life that I've got and things to be going the way that they're going. I appreciate all of you, and I understand that you can't force people to stay on the stream. And this is a huge part of what I've been learning recently about relationships, building good relationships. You can't force people to be in a relationship with you, or to like you, or to love you. But what you can do is you can work on loving yourself, having confidence in yourself, finding your purpose in life, and being good in who you are. And that's a great place to be at. And then you've got more to give then. And then you can survive in any different situation. And I've really learned that lately, because it's important, because I've had periods in my life where I had a lot of people around me and a lot of money, and everything was going well. And I wasn't lonely because I was, making people happy, etc. And that's great. But that didn't last forever. Then I had a period, as some of you know, where I had a mental health breakdown. Or sometimes it weren't even the case, just a case where people were busy and they weren't around, and I was on my own. And I didn't have other people to make me feel safe and loved. And I had to learn how to do that for myself with faith. That helped me as well a lot. And that was a great learning lesson. So it's good to learn these skills. And I know I'm going off on different tangents, but you girls are smart. You'll appreciate what I'm saying. And if you don't, that's fine as well. All these things are relevant with overcoming anxiety on a daily basis, or if you want to look at it as something that you want to overcome permanently, living your dreams. Now I'm doing it. I'm living my dreams, so all of you can do it. That is 100%. I tried to fit in, but I had this feeling I still wasn't wanted by others. Yeah, that's quite a common feeling, and that's something that I felt myself as well at certain stages. But that's a good thing if you learn from that and you continue to understand yourself more, and then you eventually will come out of that. You will come out of these spaces. I just want to say, anybody who criticizes me or is nasty, amen, Jesus, I forgive you. I pray for you. It doesn't affect me. I feel compassion that you are not in a good place, that you need to say that. But you've also got a right to your opinion as well. I appreciate criticism, because without criticism, I wouldn't be happy in my life. I wouldn't be doing what I love. I wouldn't be traveling the world. Thank God, in Jesus' name, I wouldn't be making money. I wouldn't be helping other people to make money. I also wouldn't have the character that I've got to not make worship money, which I don't, but to be confident, to be healthy, to be fit, to be stronger, and not be afraid of bullying, of hatred or criticism, because it used to frighten me, but I'm not afraid of it no more. And to also not be nasty myself and be patient with people and forgive them. So anybody's got something nasty to say, I can only say that I pray for you. Because when you're nasty to other people, you're nasty to yourself, because you're not good in yourself. But when I was in a bad place, when I was younger, I was critical. I wasn't going online saying things, but I could be nasty too. So I had to ask for forgiveness. I had to make changes. So I don't take it personal. So I appreciate the criticism, and that's one of the things that I teach people. In any walk of life, in any world, don't matter how good you are, what you do, what you say, you're always going to get people that are going to criticize you. They're not going to like you. But with strong character, with faith, with confidence, with being humble and having humility and living your dreams, you're able to, what's the right word? Let me see the right word. You're just able to be neutral about it, where it doesn't affect you anymore, because it affects a lot of people. Some people of recent, in our generation, young people, are taking their own life, which is not right and sad. And it used to affect me when I was younger. And that's really the genesis of my story. My story started off with someone who was had a good heart, was a good kid. I'm sure, like all of you, I wasn't perfect, but I was sensitive, and I was very shy and sensitive and caring, and I got bullied for it, because bullies are weak when they're in that current state, and they prey on people that they can bully. So I got bullied and broken down and teased and hit and bullied and insulted, and it made me absolutely terrified of people, and it caused me to have social anxiety, panic attacks, shame, insecurities, all sorts of fears, concentration problems. So initially, bullying broke me down, and it made me feel terrible about myself. I had no confidence with anything. But after going through bad depressions and being afraid of people, I decided I'm going to stand up for myself. And and I'm not advocating this, but obviously I was younger. The generation where I grew up, my dad always brought me up to not bully people, but to stand up for myself. So eventually, I started to fight back. So I had to physically fight bullies back, and then they stopped bullying me because they were hitting me. So I'd fight them back, just fist fight. Then I started to stand up for myself verbally. Then as time went on, as the years went on, people stopped bullying me because they could sense that I wasn't afraid anymore, but I was still a good person. And eventually it stopped, but it took time. But it wasn't so much the physical bullying that scared me. It was more psychologically and emotionally how it made me feel afterwards. So when the bullies had gone and I went my separate ways, it would trigger anxiety and fear and worry. So that's what put me on this journey. And that's why I don't advocate bullying. It's not nice. I wouldn't want anyone to go through it, but it's changed my life. It's changed me. And over time, obviously, it took time. I couldn't do it on my own with my faith. I had to forgive the people that bullied me and realize that they were in a bad place, and they don't escape the consequences of their actions. And neither did I. Neither did I. There were stages of my life where I bullied back as well, and it wasn't right, and I paid the price. So no one gets away with it. People think today that they can go online and they can hide behind the keyboard and they can be nasty and aggressive to people, and they think they're going to get away with that. But they can't. We don't get away with these things. We don't get away with them. Our conscience catches up, whoever you are. So a lesson for everyone, right? Treat people how you want to be treated, and that is going to it's going to change your life. That's an understatement. But yeah, don't be afraid. If anyone's getting bullied out there, learn self-defense. I took up boxing. It gave me the confidence physically to not let anyone bully me, put their hands on me. And public speaking and teaching and facing my anxieties gave me social confidence. So now I don't fear people trying to bully me, because I know how to stand up for myself, but also not use violence. Obviously, only if I needed to use self-defense, which is within the law. But it's I never have to do that, because I know how to talk to people, and I know how to be in the right mindset to not create situations that can cause that. or if someone is critical online, as you saw, I pray for them, I forgive them, and I don't take it personal. Right. So I've made some notes here. Like I said, man, I pray for you that that hateful, because you're only treating yourself like that. So we'll say a prayer again. Amen. Jesus, please forgive these people, and please give them the strength and the healing and direction that they need to change their hearts, so they can not treat themselves like that and other people. Right. Let's move on. So I'm going to share this to Facebook. Right, I'll answer questions. You can get your questions in, and I'm going to read these teachings out. I've made loads of notes here. Okay. So we're going to start here. I might change the subject, but it's all relevant to overcoming anxiety, living your dreams. So initially, everyone's got this fear, and I see this a lot with clients. I see it with people that I meet along, my walk of life, and I've had this fear myself many times. So people have got a fear of taking action on their anxieties, their goals, and their dreams, because unconsciously, people know that when they take action, especially, at the beginning of an anxiety, let's say, for example, you have a fear of traveling. You haven't traveled before. So the first time you travel, it's going to trigger you. It's going to trigger your anxieties. And a lot of people are unconsciously aware of that, so they avoid it. Let's say that you're in a job that you don't enjoy, and you want to leave that job and you want to start your own business and fulfill your dream and make more money, make a bigger impact, but you're scared to make the changes because you know that when you make the changes, it's going to trigger intense anxiety. So what a lot of people do is they shy away from actually taking that action. So that's something to think about, make a note. And again, I want to educate you on this, because the more you understand anxiety and your own anxieties and how the mind works, the more you can be less afraid of it and overcome it. So just to give you a bit of brief, I won't go too deep on this now, but so I've wrote here, there's nothing wrong with you in the sense that this is human. This is how the human mind and brain works. It's designed to protect you and keep you safe from danger. So of course, the brain, the way it works in that part of the brain associates change as potential danger. So changing your job as far as your mind's concerned is dangerous. Speaking in public, or a YouTube video, or going into a new relationship, or selling, or earning money, or doing new things, trying new things, asking someone out, making positive changes, losing weight. The brain associates this as a potential threat on your life, which is an exaggeration of the truth. So it's going to try and do everything it can to stop you from moving forward. So anxiety, most of it is linked to childhood trauma. I'm sure most of you know that. Negative experiences that have happened to all of us in the past, things that were difficult and tough that maybe you weren't able to deal with as a young child, so you blocked them out but you're still suffering the consequences as an adult now. Number 3, people fear the uncertainty, and they fear the pain and the discomfort that they'll have to go through. All of us have to go through if they want to build confidence and discipline and live their dreams or fulfill their purpose. So unconsciously, the unconscious is intelligent. It knows this. So unconsciously, you might not be aware that you are very avoidant in your life. And that's what's making you unhappy and keeping you stuck. You might not be aware that there are certain thinking patterns that you've had for 20 years that are holding you back in your life and stopping you from being all you can be. You might not be aware that you've got compulsive behaviors, protective defensive mechanisms that you participate in without consciously knowing as a way of protecting yourself because of the fear of potential danger and threat, which can also be understood by someone criticizing you online, someone criticizing you in person, someone rejecting you, someone laughing at you, or the pain of rejection. It could be the pain of someone rejecting you in a relationship. It could be a pain of not succeeding on YouTube or in anything. But nonetheless, these are all perceived threats that could threaten a person mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Number 4, people stay stuck because they're afraid to move forward because they're terrified of what will get triggered within them. So I've just made a note here. This is a long-term strategy to work towards. You have to toughen up both mentally and emotionally in order to overcome your anxiety and succeed at living your dreams. So there's some education there, guys, and understanding of how the anxiety works, why it works in this way, why you're doing the things that you're doing, and how you can overcome that. Of course, if you don't understand the problem, then how are you going to solve it? So for many years, I was stuck because of all these reasons. For me, I'd say the worst challenge for me was I was my own worst enemy. My pride got in the way. More than anyone that could criticize me or anyone that bullied me or me worrying about someone hurting me or harming me, I got in my own way. My pride got in the way because I was too afraid and I was too ashamed and I didn't have the strength of character at that particular time to be honest and say, yeah, I'm struggling here with anxiety, low self-esteem, and I don't believe in myself. I wasn't able to admit that to myself for a long period until I got to a point where I was in so much pain, I was so broken, I was so depressed and down that I decided enough is enough. And when I admitted it to myself and said, I'm struggling here, I don't have confidence, I don't believe in myself, this anxiety is literally destroying my life, and I want to do something about this. And that's when real change started to happen inside me. And then I went out and found the courage and faced my fears, and it changed my life. Here's something that I wrote that I learned from David Goggins, which I like because it coincides with my own struggles and my own successes, and also the struggles that everybody has until they overcome it. And David Goggins said, the mind has a tactical advantage on all of us. It knows our weaknesses and it knows our deepest, darkest fears, and it tries to protect us from going towards the truth and the things that we want to do. Amen to that 100%. He's right. So he says, and I agree, you've got to learn to control your mind. Les Brown said the same thing. If you don't control your mind and you don't reprogram it, then your mind's going to control you. And if you don't fight for what you want, Les Brown quote here, you're automatically going to get what you don't want. So here's some more notes that I wrote. That's all connects to today's talk. So daily discipline. Having a daily routine protects you from your anxiety mind, sabotaging you and bringing you down into a depressed, lonely, and anxious state of mind. And the daily routine is what I'm doing every day and what I'm teaching on all platforms and in my paid programs. And the daily routine consists of gratitude, cleaning your apartment, exercising, eating a healthy diet, being kind to others, creating a vision, working towards that vision every day, and socializing as consistently as you can. So it's very basic, it's very straightforward, but of course, where people struggle, it takes strength and courage and discipline to apply it every single day or at least 5 times a week. So I'd recommend all of you, if you haven't done it already, and I'm regularly explaining this, get a routine that consists of an exercise workout. I'm not saying that you've got to work out 7 days a week. That's probably too much. But at least work out 4 to 5 times a week. You've got to make this regular. If you want to see life-changing results and you want to see your anxiety lessen and your confidence increase, then do the things that I'm telling you to do, because it changed my life and I do it every day. And that's why I'm enjoying my life. That's why I've got confidence and gratitude, and it continues to improve. And it gives you the strength to control your anxiety and not allow it to control you and stop you enjoying your life and being yourself. Now, please bear with me because I'm going to change subjects today because I've made notes, but they all come back to the same thing. And some of you might think, well, that doesn't apply to me, but be patient because it will apply to someone else. And someone else will be struggling and will want the help. A second. I had a lot of coffee today and it's great, but it's important to breathe. You know, you have a lot of coffee, it can make you overexcited. Always breathe. Oh, wow, strong. Okay. Well, that's pretty long. I'll come back to that. If any of you got any questions, put them in the box and I will answer them. Definitely overdone it with the coffee. Okay. So consistency. So important to be consistent, you know. I mean, not just with getting over anxiety, but with anything in life if you want to be successful. So being consistent is about showing up when you don't feel good about yourself and life isn't always going your way, because it's not always going to go your way. And, you know, the reality is none of us are always going to feel good about ourselves, but that's not an excuse to show up and do the daily disciplines, because that's how you get out of that place and you build character. So I've written here, excuse me, it's easy to be consistent when you're happy and things are going well, and that's great. But being consistent is about sticking to your daily discipline, your habits, regardless of how you feel, rich or poor, in a good mood or a bad mood. You still got to show up and give it your best if you want to overcome your anxiety and you want to live your dreams and be a better person, achieve any goal in your life. It could be any goal. This practice strengthens your character. Great character leads to success in all areas of life. And I don't just include with making money or achieving, you know, your dream or your talents. That's fine. But being successful at being a good person, the way that you treat other people. Because the way I see it, if you're successful and you've got a lot of money and fame and all those kind of things, but you're not nice to people, then as far as I'm concerned, you're not successful. You might be externally successful, but you're not a good person. So what's the point? That's how I see it. They're the values that I teach. And being consistent is also about doing the best. I know it's not always easy because we are human and people are not always kind to us and people can be difficult. But that's not an excuse to not try every day to be kind to people as consistently as you can. Right, off subject a bit, but this is a valuable lesson that I learned going through a hard time when I was very successful and had a mental health breakdown. I learned this lesson in a mental hospital, and I'm grateful for this lesson because it's invaluable and it's changed my life. And this lesson has enabled me to lose over 40 pounds, encourage all of you on a daily basis, whether I'm having a good day or a challenging day, and change every aspect of my life, everything. I learned how to be grateful with very little. Losing everything after having everything forced me to find gratitude, which was something I was lacking when I had a lot of success and a certain amount of fame, you could say. Hard times break you down to who you really are. Hard times humble you. I enjoyed being kind to people more when I lost everything. I felt a sense of relief when I surrendered to the reality that I wasn't mentally well at that particular time in 2017 after being a successful businessman, coach, etc. I remember feeling really happy that I made some of the other patients in hospital happy just by simple things like giving them a flapjack when I went out to get some food. I remember feeling so happy when I went for a walk in St. James's Park and I got a coffee. Immense levels of gratitude and appreciation. I remember realizing in hospital that my value wasn't based on how much money I had or how many followers I had. It was based on the way that I treated people and my love for God, being alive, and the love for my family and friends, and just appreciating the simple things in life. During that time, these were hard-hitting realizations and truths that were extremely hard-hitting to my mind and my heart at the time. Despite feeling so vulnerable at that time and insecure, because of my high levels of anxiety and depression, I was able to take strength, find love, and a deep sense of gratitude for knowing that I was going to change some of my old ways, my character flaws, my insecurities, definitely change the way that I treated people, my attitude towards other people. Being a kinder person and a better person became more important to me than being successful materially and famous and all the other selfish, egotistical things that were important to me at that particular time in my life. I promised myself that if I ever made money again, and if I ever was fortunate to become successful again, I would never allow myself to become arrogant and ungrateful and to lose sight of the most important things that are important to me. I also realized at age 34 that I had a lot of growing up to do and I had a lot of maturing to do. Despite being successful and being good in some areas and inspiring a lot of people, there was still a lot of growing up to do. I also learned that I had to learn to do these things on my own. I had to count on myself, not rely on my mum and my dad and other people to reassure me and do things for me. These are things that I had to learn myself. And it was great learning these things. So a lot of these things are about character. Now, I know I've gone deep there and I've deviated, but they're all relevant to today because these are the things that taught me about running, eating healthy, being patient, not taking things so personal, enjoying life more, having the right values, being determined, learning to control my mind. They all put me onto these things. Okay, so values and characteristics, a massive part of dramatically reducing social anxiety, life anxiety, financial, relationship, mental, and emotional. This is something that I learned through life. How you treat people is a direct reflection of how you treat and feel about yourself. Unhappiness can derive from not treating people well. We've all done it. When you're kind to other people, you're also kind to yourself. It takes a lot of strength to be kind. It takes more strength to be kind to people than it does to be unkind. Boxing taught me this, believe it or not. To popular belief, some people wouldn't understand that. So getting in the boxing ring as an amateur, when I was scared to death but excited in my early 20s and shy, going in that ring and having all-out intense sparring sessions, which were tough, they toughened me up. But they also, I heard the saying, I agree with it, tough times make kind men, or tough times make kind men and women, or people in general. So it made me kinder. I had to go through the physical, one-on-one discipline of boxing to have more self-respect for other people and for myself. I'll just give you a bit of insight. So that's why I say to people, you don't have to go and fight. You don't have to be a boxer. I mean, you can if you want, but boxing training will teach you how to be a better person. It will definitely soften the hearts of men that are angry, traumatized, struggling. I've been there, and are really struggling in life because of things that have been done to them that weren't their fault, but are their responsibility to change. So boxing will help you to do that, help you in every area. I've also gone on to say here, this is an ongoing thing. If you can treat people well when you're not feeling good about yourself and you're struggling to treat yourself well, you're doing pretty great in life. You're pretty successful already. Then things will start to work out for you in the long run anyway. I promise you. Right. Get your questions in whenever you can. I'm going to read something out. I wrote all these things myself. It's all the truth. It's all what I've learned. Right. Fully commit to living your purpose. So for those of you that don't know me, I really appreciate it. My name's Jonathan and I'm a confidence coach who specializes in helping people to face their anxieties. My purpose is to help other people, sufferers of anxiety, to face their anxieties so they can build confidence and live their purpose. I suffered with severe anxiety growing up, and I was afraid of everything. My anxieties growing up made me afraid to live. I experienced anxiety attacks on a daily basis in my 20s. I had extreme paranoia, and I had suicidal thoughts in my early 20s. I felt deeply ashamed at the time for suffering with anxiety in my 20s, and I was scared of people finding out that I had these anxieties. Hitting rock bottom motivated me to go out and face all my anxieties. Here is a list of the anxieties that I faced throughout my 20s and throughout the course of my early 30s, all the way up until now, age 40, believe it or not. So in no chronological order. Facing my anxieties transformed my life. Facing my anxieties gave me confidence. Facing my anxieties helped me to overcome my depression. Excuse me. Facing my anxieties made me more intelligent. Facing my anxieties made me a stronger person. Facing my anxieties was the solution to all my problems. And facing my anxieties taught me how to manage my existing anxieties and how to channel my anxieties and fears into a positive outlet. It was through facing my anxieties that I discovered what my purpose in life was. The more you avoid anxieties, the bigger they grow. The more you face your anxieties, the smaller they become. Some anxieties are harder to face than others, whereas some anxieties take more practice to face and overcome in due time. Facing your anxieties, as far as I'm concerned, is success. Even if you fail and you get nervous or you feel embarrassed, it's still success because you had the courage to go and do it and try. Facing your anxieties is how you find yourself and how I found myself. Facing your anxieties is how you find happiness. Facing your anxieties is what makes you a better person. When I was at my lowest point, I remember thinking in my 20s, one day, I would love to have the confidence to tell the whole world my story. And I would love to tell the world my story, which was I suffered with anxiety, and I still suffer with anxiety to this present day. But I've had the courage to successfully go out, confront all my anxieties, overcome the ones that I've overcome, continue to manage the ones that still challenge me, but live my dreams and be the person that I want to be and help other people. So there you go. There's a bit more of my story, and I'm confident within my story it can help you to straighten out the challenging negative story which is holding you back from living your purpose or living your goals and dreams. It's great here. I'm pleased that I made all these notes because I knew that these notes would come in handy, even though I can speak on the streams freely. But these are, these notes have come at really meaningful times. And for some reason, when I travel, it always comes to me on the plane or when I'm in a destination or when I'm coming back, and I'm able to write these things really easy. Maybe some of you will feel the same when you travel, or you go through facing your own anxieties and coming out the other side and being happy and confident and grateful. Oh, this is a really good one. I'm going to have a little bit of a breather and read this one out. I'm really pleased I found this. I was grateful. I remember my mentor saying, Jeff, that a lot of the time when he writes, he doesn't even take credit for him. He said it just comes through. He just says his faith in God, his honesty, vulnerability. And that's exactly how this came. I felt like I didn't even write it. It was like it just spewed it up. It just came out and it felt so right. So I'm looking forward to reading it because I think I read it once and I know it's going to help a lot of people. No, I haven't got a dog. I had a dog growing up, a dog that we loved. But no, not right now, but I did have one. Have you got a dog? Just a sec, guys. I'm coming back. Right, I'm just going to have a short break. I just need a bit of fruit. A bit low in energy because of I feel great, all the training that I'm doing. It's good anyway because, I'm doing another dream that I had, and that was to eat healthy, which I'm so grateful. Thank God I found this, and I can encourage more of you. Not force you, but if you want to eat healthy. Oh, lovely. Yeah, 6 years old. I love animals, especially cats. Right. Oh, these are great. Oh no, well, what I was saying about Jeff, when Jeff said when he writes, he said he doesn't take credit for it because he feels that it's a gift, it's a gift. And he's right. I agree. I know that's the same for all of us. When we're honest and we're being kind and we're following our passion, our purpose, That's why you get so many people say, I don't know how I do it, but I do it. And that's really where my best speaking comes from. I don't know how I do it. And that's the same when I'm helping all of you to do. Once you're in your purpose or your passion, you'll just do great things, but you won't even know how you've done it. Sorry, I know it's not very polite to talk when you're eating, but I need the nutrition to do this. Talk to you guys, teach you. Please get your questions in, guys. You're not going to interrupt me, right? You're not being rude. Because I can always answer them, and I prefer it. I prefer answering the questions. Because I feel a little bit selfish sometimes. If I'm doing all the talking and no one's saying anything, it doesn't feel very fair. But I know a lot of people, you want that. You've come on, you're getting value. But I'm so used to teaching in person, and I prefer in person. But obviously, the live stream helps people. Not everyone can get to me in person, or vice versa. So get your questions in. If you're happy to listen to me, let me know in the box below. Don't be shy, or be shy. Do it anyway. It's important. I want to know how all of you are doing, how you're feeling. Write in the comment below. Just to let you guys know as well, I've created a TikTok account. I weren't going to do it, but I'm actually glad I've done it. Is dating impossible? No, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I'd say it's challenging, but I'd say it's not impossible. I'll tell you what I'll do, right? If you're going to stay on this stream, Shoham, I'm going to read something out. I think you'll appreciate it. I'll read it out for you. If you don't mind me reading it, and it will help you with your relationships, because it's helped me to write it down. I'm 40 years of age, and it's all my life experience. I've made mistakes in relationships. I'm not perfect. I've done things right. I've been around smart people. I learn from good women, good men, good people. And what I'm learning recently, my faith. So I'll read something out that will help you, help all of us. Anton, how are you doing, Anton? Apologies, guys, about the eating. I've got to get this nutrition in me because I've just felt I didn't have the strength or the training. 2017, you did many videos that helped me back then. I wonder, was you down back then? I was very down back then, Anton. I was depressed. I was mentally unwell, but I was giving my heart. That's all I can do. So I'm pleased that I was able to help people. I'm surprised, actually. I can laugh at myself in a humorous way, but I remember laughing. I think I was laughing. I was having a joke with my dad or someone, because we were being grateful that I've recovered. And I was saying, surprising or not, I know that I upset quite a lot of people, and I apologize for that. I didn't mean it. I weren't well. So all I can do is say sorry. But a lot of people said that I really inspired them despite being very mentally unwell. So I'm grateful for that. I think when someone's unwell, they can still inspire people, because it may come out in a chaotic way, but there's still a heart there. And I was still trying to help people. So the fact that I helped you, I'm pleased about that. And I know there's been quite a few people that have helped me. I'm not going to mention names out of respect, but I've seen it where people have been quite mentally unwell. I might not have realized it. And they've just spoken, they've just spoken their heart, and they've literally brought me to tears and helped me when I've been struggling. So I appreciate that. But it is good to be well again, mentally well. I'm always going to have a few screws loose, but you understand what I mean. I'm off medication. I'm 40 pounds lighter and I feel great and I'm in the best place that I've ever been. So it's nice to be well and able to teach and help people and also able to learn myself. What? Timmy, my live stream wouldn't be the same without you. I always felt like something was missing. When you're on the stream, I always know we got a good live stream going. I love your humor. And I want you to do well, man. Honestly, I hope this doesn't make you uncomfortable, but my thoughts and prayers are always with you to do well because I can see you're a good person. You've been following me on my streams for a long time. I can see that I can feel and see that you've got a good heart. And I hope whatever you're going through, you can get through it because we all go through bad times and everyone needs mercy. We all need help and strength. But I believe you're in the right place. You're with good people who care. And we're all helping each other. I just want to make a point of saying, some of you might know this, some of you may not know it, and I really mean it. You guys and girls help me so much because you give me the opportunity to help you and live my dreams. So it's both ways. So I appreciate that. And the support that I've gotten throughout the years, through all the challenges, has just been second to none. I'm very lucky at the support that I've got. And I'm not worried about the fact that I don't have the biggest following. I don't even think about that. But I've got good people that have followed me through thick and thin. And the love that I've been shown and appreciation, you can't put a price on that. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that more and more. So, much appreciated. It gives me a lot of strength, you guys and girls. You give me an extra strength to go on and keep helping people. So I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Right. Let me read this out. Now, I'm going to be honest. This is heavy. It's deep. It's tough. So make sure wherever you are, you're sitting down because you might go dizzy when I read this out. The truth can sometimes raise blood pressure, make people a bit dizzy. And I'm serious. I'm joking, but serious. And I've often, when I've wrote these things, it's felt amazing. But I've literally felt like I've been in the ring with Mike Tyson. I felt exhausted mentally and emotionally because it's so honest, it's heavy, it's truthful, it's deep, it's meaningful, and it can feel like coming out of an intense therapy session. But once you get your breath and you relax and you heal up, you feel really strong again. Let me just charge this phone. Right. Sorry, I've got to keep this chart. Oh, damn. I knew I'd do it. I knew I'd spill it. Never mind. Always happens. Right. Let's get these. Yes, the stream's building up. This is great. Awesome. Thank you. Surely changed my life in 2016. I followed you for more than 2 years and practiced what you did. Can you please talk more about... I'm not going to go into that, to be honest, now. All I can say to you is, Anton, is that I've moved away from that. So that's about as much as I can say. When the time's right, probably on the podcast show, I will speak on it, right? So please don't be upset. Don't take it personal. A lot of people ask me. Obviously, it was a part of my life. I've changed from those times, and what I teach has changed. But, if it wasn't through going through that, I guess I wouldn't be the person I am. So I can't really say much more than that because I've got a lot to get through. But I appreciate you asking me. And when the time's right, I will speak more on that. But at the moment, it's important for me that I speak on my message and the vision and everything else. Johnny Guns, good to see you. I'm currently going through a very hard time. I'm sorry to hear that, Johnny, right? And I hope we can help you on the stream. I don't see a way out, but I still don't give up every day. I believe in God. Hold on, hold the line. Yeah. Before we get into it, Johnny, right, as you said, there's a lot of people going through hard times right now. And we all go through hard times. And If you know my story, Johnny, if you know both of the stories, you'd know that I went through a terrible time. Probably what you're going through now. Well, I hope you're not going through what I went through at 20. I was suicidal in my 20s. I was depressed. I was paranoid. I didn't want to live, and I didn't want to die. I prayed to God. I listened to a Les Brown message, and my life changed. Of course, I went out and worked hard and met people, but then in my early 30s, I got hit with a mental health breakdown, Johnny. I had a mental health breakdown, and I literally, Johnny, I thought my life was over. I thought I was done. I was locked up in a mental hospital. I was on medication. I lost my confidence. I was paranoid. I couldn't teach. I couldn't work. I couldn't earn money. I was so poor in my thinking that I didn't trust anyone other than God. My nan, who's not alive anymore, but always in my heart. I was sick. I was unwell. But like you, Johnny, I prayed to God. He got me through it. I got well again. So I hope that can give you something. And also, I know this is not always easy for people to hear. I'm telling you, like, how do I say this? It's not nice going through bad times. None of us like it. But I'm telling you, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's always hope, as long as you don't lose hope. And there's good people out there that will help you. And when you get through this time, Johnny, or anyone who's going through a bad time, I'm telling you, you're going to be a better person. Your life's going to be better. You're going to learn things about yourself that I could never teach you. And things are going to go well for you. But whilst you're in this time at the moment, and I know what it's like, it's not nice when you're feeling down. Find gratitude. Even if you have to go back to a time when you were happy, I don't care what you've got to do. Pray to God, watch my videos, or listen to your favorite music, laugh, don't give up. I wrote to a client today, just because you're down, just because you're going through a bad time, doesn't mean you can't find joy, happiness, relief, motivation. It's usually in the down times that a person is forced to look for answers that they wouldn't usually look if things were going well. So I'll say this as well, a little bit of tough love. I hope you appreciate it, right? Tough times make tough men. Tough times make kind men. Now, let's not generalize as well. Tough times make kind people. I know it's not always the case. So we're not saying that we want people to suffer. I don't want anyone to suffer. But the reality is we all go through bad times. And so have I. But what I've learned from the second part of my story is I've learned gratitude. Gratitude was something that I didn't know about. I didn't care about it when I was younger. Obviously, your parents, I was a good person, like a lot of you are, but my parents would say, be grateful. And you say, yeah, but you're grateful for half an hour. But I didn't really understand it. I learned about gratitude from having a mental health breakdown. So it's not... I wouldn't want anyone to go through the mental health breakdown that I went through, especially if I had kids. But I'm glad I went through it, because the joy that I've got in my heart now, the person I am now, I wouldn't be able to speak to you guys and girls in this way if I didn't go through that experience. My life has changed in every single way, and it's still unfolding. So there is hope. And as long as you don't give up. Listen, if anybody on this stream is suicidal, please, 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 all I can say is, please don't take your life. Please ask someone for help. There's help out there. There's someone who cares, who understands. Usually people that have also been suicidal but overcome it, they're the best people that can help you. So please do get help, right? Because I'm not a professional mental health worker. There is a difference between what I do with confidence coaching. So if anyone is suicidal, please don't take your life. Please, God, get help. People care. I understand. I've been there. I didn't do it, but I felt suicidal in my 20s. And I'm going to say this. I recently lost one of my best friends to suicide, who I love dearly, and will always love. So if that's saying something, then it says something. But you can come back. All successful people, including me, all of us we've all been at some stage suicidal. There is hope. You can get out of it. Speak to your parents, pray to God, get on the helpline, the Samaritan's line, go to the doctors, tell them there's help out there. You will get out of it. You will not stay in this place forever. I promise you. That's all I can say, man. And please God, anyone on the stream hearing this is not going to go and do that, because you're valuable. Everyone's valuable. Your life means something. And it's so yeah. You're welcome. Right, where are we? Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, man. If you're having suicidal thoughts, please seek help. And listen, let me show you something, right? Let me show you something. Hold on. Right, I'm going to read something for you guys, right? We're going to talk on this subject. This is Tyson Fury, right? I love Tyson Fury. I'm a fan. Tyson Fury was going to commit suicide, and he didn't do it. I want to read something for you guys. I read this. Sorry, I spilt stuff all on this. I'm going to buy a new one. I read this on the way to Latvia, and it made me cry. It really inspired me. What a man. So I recommend you getting this book. You don't have to be into boxing. Anyone out there who's feeling down, suicidal, get help. But I recommend getting this book, because this book's not really about a heavyweight boxer, which it is. This book is about a man who was suicidal and about to kill himself, but didn't do it and turned his life around. And anyone can do it, right? Okay, so let me read this. I'm not going to read the whole book, Timmy. No, that would be a bit long. So he's written here, this book is dedicated to the cause of mental health awareness. I would plead with anyone reading my story who feels they're experiencing similar issues to seek professional help immediately. There is hope. That's beautiful, man. That's a true champion, man. Right, where is it? Let's read this. I do apologize if this is a bit heavy for anyone, but listen, man. Got to talk about it. It's come up on the stream, and these are things that are really going on for men and women, especially for men. Pain would be over. The sun was shining on a perfect summer's day. I just picked up a brand new red convertible Ferrari. I was the heavyweight champion of the world. I had a beautiful wife and family. My life should have been as good as it gets, but my soul was as black as my boots. Just a few months previously, I was standing in the ring with the world acclaiming me as the best heavyweight on the earth. I was the man who had followed in the footsteps of legends such as Jack Dempsey, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and Lennox Lewis. Yet now, as I drove along the motorway in this new dream car, I was caught in a nightmare of clinical depression. I had it all, but I had nothing to live for. There was no point to my existence. As I come off the motorway, I slowed down, and I just knew it was time to leave this torture behind. Right, come on, Tyson, get this over with. My mind was made up. It was in a place of meaninglessness. Nothing mattered. I didn't matter. I looked at the upcoming bridge. That was the target. That was the end. Hold up, guys. The Ferrari engine roared back into life. It would be the last sound I would hear. In a couple of seconds, my mind would be clear, devoid of all voices that were boiling in my head. I put my foot on the floor. The end was in view. Then in the moment before I was set to crash the car, a voice shot into my head. No, stop. Think about your kids, Tyson. A blast. Yeah. So he's gone on to say, so he heard a voice, he said, from God that said, don't do it, stop. So he didn't do it. He was about to kill himself in his Ferrari. He was driving and he didn't do it. Tyson Fury went on to say, that's the closest I've come to ending it all. I look back now with relief and bewilderment as just how a person can be in such a state, suffocated by depression like I was, and I give thanks to God. Without my faith, I would have committed suicide that day. My children would not have had a father to guide them and my amazing wife. So there's hope. That's inspiring, very inspiring. So you're not on your own. I think that's what happens to a lot of men, especially. They feel like they're on their own and no one understands, no one cares, but they do understand. People do care. Many people are going through it right now. Don't do it. And I've been through it. I wasn't as close to Tyson Fury, but I was still close enough. Just the fact in my 20s that I was obsessing and thinking about killing myself is not a good place to be at. And I didn't do it through hope. So I believe through faith, through God, and getting help, that you get through it. And if I didn't get the professional help, I wouldn't have recovered at the 2 traumatic stages of my life. And great things can come after depression and feeling suicidal, right? So on a lighter note, there you go. Well, I've said it before, Anton, one of the best therapies for social anxiety is socializing. That's what a person needs to do. That's the fear. Let's make it simple. In my experience, any anxiety that you've got, the only way that you're going to overcome it in most cases is by exposing yourself to it. You're not going to overcome a fear by avoiding it. So social anxiety is a social fear. It's the anxiety of socializing. So how do you overcome social anxiety? I'm not saying it's easy. You've got to socialize. Go to meet-up groups, socialize, join a boxing gym, friends, family. If you're single, go on dates, speak to people. I've put on so many free events, and I've said before, come to my event. Go on a site called meetup.com. Speak to people. I was in a coffee shop today before we done the stream having a coffee. There were 2 guys sitting down, friends. They're sitting on one table. There was a spare seat. I wanted to sit down, charge my phone, and prepare for this live stream and have a coffee. So, I've got good manners. So I just said, "Oh, can I sit there, guys? Is that all right?" They said, "Sure." They started talking. We had a laugh. We had a chat. That's how you overcome it. I go into I was getting my beard trimmed today. I got my beard trimmed so I can look smart for you guys. I walked in. I'm polite. There was all hairdressers. I said to the lady, "Can I get a trim?" I had a nice conversation with the woman cutting my beard. It makes you feel good. So be social in your everyday life. But I know it's not easy when you're going through it, and get coaching, get help. So that is the direct way of overcoming it. Now, of course, there's other ways that also help to overcome social anxiety. I'll say it again: exercising, running, boxing, weight training, any physical training where your heart rate goes up, where you sweat, you burn calories. When you train, it makes you feel good. When you feel good, it's easier to socialize with people. So you overcome social anxiety through socializing, through exercising, and being consistent. No, I'm not getting distracted. I'm happy to answer all your questions. That's the most important thing, is answering you guys' questions. Right, here we go. Oh, this is a bit deep. I'm not sure about this one today. No, I'm not a workaholic, Timmy. I've got a good balance. I know how to work and enjoy it, and I also know how to rest as well. But I used to be a workaholic, you're right, but I learned my lesson from burning out. Where is that thing I had? I've lost it. Get your questions in, guys, or answer them. Yeah, I understand. I think most people have been through the same, Anton. But you can overcome it through the things I teach on this channel, and especially by having a purpose and a vision for yourself, for everyone on the channel. It's very important. I said in one of my last streams or videos, that, people with anxiety need to create a vision. They need a purpose in life. Without a purpose, without a vision, they're not going to fully overcome it. Or they can make a lot. I'm not saying that someone has to have a big goal and a dream to overcome anxiety, because you can improve it through therapy and socializing and exercising. But you're not going to get to a point where you're really happy in life. And I want to do the best I can to get all of you, as many people as I can, where you're actually really enjoying your life. Where is the thing? Hold on. Okay. No, I read that already, right? I read that on the other stream the other day. I can't find this now. Where was that? I had it. Okay, we'll read this one anyway. How to find the right relationship for men and women, regardless of your age and life situation, and especially when you've got anxiety, all right? So the answer to this question is to live your purpose in life. You have to understand where you are going wrong in order to put things right. How can you find someone, the right person in a relationship, if you're lost yourself and you're not happy and fulfilled in your own life? ? You'll just keep creating the wrong relationship with whoever you meet. So I've gone on to say, as an example, when I met my ideal girlfriend at age 28, and we were together for several years to 21. Where's this? Yeah, okay, I'll come back to that. Hold on. Okay, so what does purpose mean by living your purpose? Well, purpose ultimately means love. The challenge that everyone has, and that's where a lot of the anxiety comes from, is a lack of love or feeling loved. So when you find your purpose and you live it, you love what you do. If you love what you do, then of course, in a healthy way, you're gonna love yourself. You're gonna feel good about yourself. So purpose can be broken down in love, meaning, gratitude, discipline, kindness, honesty, faith, family, relationships, health, diet. If you can't be on your own without feeling abandoned, then you're not quite yet ready to meet your ideal person. I'm assuming most of the people on here are guys, but I'm catering to men and women. So for guys that want to meet the right woman or the right relationship, that's important. So I've gone on to say here, men and women, especially men and women who've got an anxiety disorder, they need to live their purpose. Otherwise, they're never going to feel happy or content in any relationship and in their life. Everyone's purpose is different, which is great because everyone's unique. Everyone's got a different personality, different values and stories, but the principle is the same. Having a purpose also encompasses connection with yourself, being who you are, connecting to yourself, other people in the world. You can't force a relationship, nor can you force anybody to love you or stay with you. Love and relationships doesn't work in that way. You must develop patience, faith, trust, and discipline. And you've also got to learn to accept the uncertainties of life, and that comes with anxiety management. Also accepting that none of us are perfect, but we can't use that as an excuse to not be our best. Living your purpose is also about saying no to the wrong relationships from a kind place. Most people don't have the strength to say no to the wrong relationships when they know it doesn't feel right, in order to make space for the right ones. So that coincides with a lot of the goals and the dreams that we all have, and that's not just looking at it for guys that are going, well, I want to meet a girlfriend or a relationship or a wife. That encompasses all relationships, Because if you don't get your relationship with yourself right, then how are you going to get it right with anyone? And I'm not saying this is easy. This stuff is tough for all of us. So it's not like, well, it's easy for him and it's not easy for me. No, it's tough for everyone. It's tough for me. It's no different. But you can do it. Everyone can do it. I can't force you to do it, and I can't make you do it. All I can do is all I can do, which is teach, inspire, be honest with you, help you, mentor you, but you've got to be committed to doing it. So I guess the next question for all of us is, well, how do I improve my relationship with myself? That's a great question. That's a great place to start. Well, in no chronological order, and I'm not pushing my faith on other people because I respect that everyone's got their own faith, but I can speak on my faith, which what I believe in, and respect other people. I couldn't improve my relationship without faith, without God. I tried it on my own and I did okay, but it didn't work in the end. I wasn't strong enough. So my experience, I don't think we can do it without God, without faith. We can't do it because our ego is too insecure, too weak. That's my opinion. Some might disagree, and that's fine. So I think that you need faith. Now, secondly, you've got to take responsibility and do what is humanly possible. I think to have a good relationship with yourself, you first need to know what your values are. Who are you? And what is your purpose? If you can answer these questions, already you're progressing with your relationship. But it's not enough just to say, well, these are my values. My values are I'm a good person and I want to treat people well. And my purpose is to be a successful footballer or a boxer or a businessman or a businesswoman or a singer or a writer, or my purpose is to travel the world or to give to charity. Saying it is not enough. You've got to live it. You've got to do it. Because we could all say whatever we want to say, but if you don't live it, then of course you're not going to get the confidence and the happiness. So you've got to take action on your values and your purpose. My purpose is doing what I'm doing now, teaching, helping people that have got anxiety to build confidence by facing their anxieties, never giving up, working hard, being honest, being the best person they can be. And that will help them to eventually live what their purpose is, or live their dreams, or just to live a better life. So when you do these things, you develop confidence, you develop discipline, and these are all things that make you have a better relationship with yourself. Now, if that's a bit too complicated for some people, which I can understand, a lot of you will get it. It might be a bit too deep, a bit too philosophical. Fine, I'll break it down into simple steps. One of the quickest ways that any person, any man or woman, can improve their relationship with themselves is through physical exercise, consistency. If you exercise regularly, 100% your relationship with yourself and everyone else is going to improve, because fit body, fit mind. You cannot be fit and in shape and not feel better about yourself. So that's one of the quickest ways you can do it. Lose weight, get in shape, and choose an exercise that works for you. Everyone's different. Again, you've got to choose what's right for you. For me, the best has been boxing and running, but you can just pick one. So running will improve your relationship with yourself. It will change your life. Boxing, weight training, physical training, sticking to it long term. You build a relationship with the exercising. That's one of the quickest ways. A second way is to get a mentor, having a teacher, a confidence coach like me, a therapist, someone who's got experience, someone who's honest, someone who's good at what they do, and someone that you can trust and build, and work with. So that will help you to improve your relationship. The best investment is with yourself. And that's obviously how I improved. I've had paid mentors, free mentors, faith in God, and they all help me to be a better person. So that's another way that you can improve your relationship with yourself. Another way that you can improve your relationship with yourself is by spending time with people that you love and you care about, whether that's your family, your friends, or your community, or a friend. That's how you get better, by spending time. My relationship got better through spending quality time with my good friend Nick, who's such a kind heart. Loved being around him. Loved our friendship. Loved the time that we had. It strengthened me. It gave me love. It gave me gratitude. It gave me happiness. It gave me the strength to give to you guys and girls. So being around good people and being good yourself is how you improve your relationship. Now, on an everyday level, you can improve your relationship right now. The quickest, the most effective way to improve your relationship is treating people how you want to be treated. If you're treating people like trash and you're treating people badly and you're projecting all of your hostility and anger and resentment, then you're going to have a poor relationship with yourself. So that's really important. Everyone you meet is an opportunity to treat people better. When you go into a coffee shop, good manners goes a long way. It doesn't cost any money. So simple, practical things, and all these things help with overcoming social anxiety and building a better relationship, and honesty as well. So, that's enough for now. I've given it faith, exercise, improving your diet, so important, being kind to others, getting a mentor, having a vision, working towards that vision. All of it does it. All the ingredients are there, and this is an ongoing thing. And the great thing about improving your relationship with yourself is you can always improve it. It never stops. I'm working on my relationship with myself and how I treat people every day, and I love it. It gives me a purpose in life. So all these things play a part in getting over anxiety, whatever anxiety is, whether it's relationship, abandonment anxiety, social, life, financial, mental, emotional. It encompasses all those things. What we'll do is, guys, we'll get a few more questions in. We're coming towards the end. It's gone so quick. I'll let you process that. It's been a good one there. It's been a heavy one. This is a heavy confidence coaching session. I've enjoyed it. Sometimes the heavy ones are the best for growth. So I'll make another tea. I'll have an orange juice. Let you guys and girls speak amongst yourself. Get any questions in, and we'll head towards the last round. Coming, guys, just a sec, yeah. I've already learned a lot today from speaking to all of you, the challenges, and it seems to be, and I'm going to do more videos, and I'm doing a lot of mentoring on my paid coaching in this area. It seems to be people struggle with the relationship with themselves and people because of resentment, anger, past hurts, and not being happy in life, to state the obvious. So that's been quite a lot of the work I'm doing at the moment in teaching, which is all around improving your relationship with yourself. And something that really come to me, as I said, in my early 30s, when I had the realization, even though some people wouldn't agree, but I knew in my own heart that I wasn't treating people as well as I would have liked to. I wasn't consistent enough, and that was because I didn't feel 100% about myself, and I didn't realize a lot of these issues. So when I realized that, I started to go to work on really being careful and aware with how I was treating people, especially people that that I didn't know, that weren't giving me compliments or doing business with me, or in a close relationship. It really was a wake-up call for me, and I think that's something that I think everybody has to come to, that if they want to be a better person, unless they're fortunate. And there are some people out there who are just really kind and good people, and they're able just to be more caring and freeing, but not everyone's like that. But the good thing is everyone can change. I just want to make a point of saying as well, and this is something that a lot of people never want to hear, and I'm going to write the word in, and you guys can be honest, right? I'm not offended. I know the answer. Now, when I write this word in, I want you guys to tell me how this makes you feel. Be honest. Be very honest, right? I'm not offended. Because this is going to be the most important thing we're going to end on, and I'm learning this every day, and I'm going to do more videos on it. I think I've spelled it right. If I haven't spelled it right, apologies. Right, I'm going to write this in the comment, and I want all of you to tell me how this makes you feel. This is personally for everyone. One word, and we're going to go into it. Right, here it goes. The word is patience. I want you guys to tell me how you feel about that word for you personally, your life. Chris, I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Do you know what? I weren't that comfortable with it, to be honest, Chris, at the start. I didn't really like the idea of donations. I just prefer to, you know, God blesses me when I get my paid clients. I charge high prices for my coaching because I feel I'm worth it. I give a lot of value, and I only work with committed clients, and I put a lot of free stuff out. But maybe I should. Maybe you're right. I'll go away. I'll think about it. I'll pray on it. I'll feel about it. And that's just the fact that you said that means a lot. Just the fact that you're willing to give me a donation. I appreciate that. Timmy says, need a little of patience. Patience is probably, it's one of the hardest things to accept and learn. And it's been very hard for me too, but I have made progress. And I realize with everything in life, anxiety, mental health, healing, getting on better with people, getting past the abuse that you suffered, you need patience. And patience comes from that's great to hear, man. I'm pleased that it done that for you. Well, for me personally, I found that patience comes through working hard. Patience comes from having a purpose in life, having a vision, and working towards it every day. And I learned that every day. I learned that. And there's times, obviously, we all have it from day to day where our mind starts panicking and running and going into what it does, the usual mind patterns. And that's when we start getting impatient, because impatience comes from anxiety. You know, the fear that you're not going to get the right relationship, the fear that you're not going to Define whatever it is that you want, that you're not going to get to where you want to get to. And that can also be where you want to be emotionally, with feeling good about yourself. But the more you start to get impatient, the worse it gets. So you've got to find ways of going, well, I accept it however long it's going to take. And in the meantime, live a great life from day to day. And I find the more focused you are, especially for men with anxiety, the more focused you are, guys, you don't think about being impatient. If you're focused right now on your video games or watching a movie or on my live stream or talking with a friend, or maybe you're just thinking of good times, or you're cooking, or you're doing sports, gym, running, or you're watching a boxing match, when you're focused, are you impatient about your life? You're not impatient because you're not thinking about it. So it's learning ways in which we can stop the negative, intrusive thinking, the obsessive, compulsive thinking. The more you think about what you don't have, the worse you feel, the more impatient you become, and the more you push things away. When you focus on what you do have, what you are grateful for, and you're appreciating the progress that you're making, impatience starts to shrink. Patience was a word that I didn't even used to like saying. If someone would have said to me when I was 20 or 30 or even 33, you need to be patient, it would have upset me. It would have triggered me. It would have made me feel not good enough, inadequate, ashamed, frustrated, depressed, down. Why would it have made me feel that way? Because I wasn't a patient person and I wasn't a secure person consistently. And I lacked gratitude. And I was selfish in my thinking. I thought about myself all the time and not about how can I be a blessing to other people. And I didn't know how to control my mind as consistent. I'm not saying that was the truth all the time, but a lot of the times. And I didn't like the truth of it. I didn't like the truth that if I say the word patient, I have to acknowledge there's certain things in my life that I can't get right now because things take time. And there are certain things that we want in life, but we're not ready for those things yet. We don't have the character. We don't have the confidence. We don't have the maturity. And that's fine. When you can accept that and go, okay, I'm not ready right now. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm not going to hate myself. I'm going to appreciate who I am, but I'm going to work at it. And I'm not going to moan. I'm not going to complain. And I'm going to appreciate what I do have. Then things start to come. So patience is important in anything in life. I don't know why lately, like every single day, well, I do know why. I don't know why I said that. I'm praying more and more and improving and trying to be the best man I can be and the best teacher. And I'm enjoying life more and more. And every day, like a certain word will come to me and it will mean a lot for everybody that I'm in my kind of life. And a few days ago, it was the word discipline. And I love discipline. And that's a word I didn't used to like. Funny enough, how words have meanings. When I was younger, when my father would say discipline, I hated it. And I didn't like it when he said it because I didn't like accepting what that meant and what that would require me to do because I lacked discipline and I had a bad attitude around discipline. Now, of course, because I am disciplined and I'm working at being more disciplined, and I teach people how to be disciplined and I enjoy being disciplined, I don't have a bad relationship with that word. Patience is something that I am improving at and helping other people. And you guys are helping me today to make me realize how important patience is if we want the right relationship, if we want to overcome our anxiety, or we want to break out of certain patterns or be a better person or live a great life or be successful in all the ways that you want to be successful. You need patience. Do me a favor, guys and girls. I don't want to be the only one speaking. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about the word, what you've learned from it. Because when you think about it, it's never, there is gray area. There would have been a time where all of you, all of us, were patient in your life. How did your life work out? What was the situation? Go back to that. Learn from it. I do it with clients in sessions. When a client's struggling in life, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally, with a challenge, I will talk to them and say, well, look, you're struggling right now. You have an insecurity, but you did this in your life before. I was working with a client who said, I don't believe I can get a relationship anymore with the right woman. He wants to get married. He wants a family. I said, okay, but you had a relationship several years ago. You told me you did. He said, I did. I said, so what makes you believe and think that you can't get a relationship again? If you did it before, you can do it again. Now you're a better man. Now you've learned from your mistakes in the previous relationship. But what were the things that you'd done that got you the relationship years ago? And he said, oh, I was happier in my life. I was more social. I was around my friends more. I wasn't desperate. I was running my business. Well then, what are you doing right now in your life? Oh, yeah, I'm not that social. Oh, I'm not doing all the things in my business. How are you emotionally? How do you feel emotionally? For example, I'm angry. I'm pissed off. How did you feel back then when you got a relationship? I wasn't angry. I felt loving towards people, towards women. We're starting to get the answers. What's causing you problems right now? Impatience. I'm impatient. I want it now. That's what's holding you back. You've lost gratitude. You're not living your purpose. You're not being accountable. All these things are affecting you. Do you think it's good to use chess strategy in life like a battle, winner and loser? I can't really answer that question because chess is not my area, although I think it's great. I played it when I was younger, but very vague. So I don't have the answer to that question. Maybe someone in the live stream can answer it. So that's the best I can say. But there's another part of me listening thinking, there's a lot of merit in what you're saying. If it means not manipulating people, because that's not what I'm about, and not harming anyone, but learning from the values of chess, how to be more strategically better in life, but by being a good person, then I'm all for it. If that's the understanding, then that's sort of what I can say. Oh, I see what you're saying though. Yes, I guess within chess, patience is important. But I understand. I mean, patience is challenging for our whole generation, but people that suffer with severe anxiety, patience can be very challenging. But again, it's something that we're learning from day to day. I find praying, gratitude, especially training, has helped me personally, and it's helped me to help my clients to develop more patience. Now, all of you have been very patient. We've all done well. I'm proud of all of us because you've been patient and you stayed on this stream. And that takes a lot of discipline because today, not everybody, but the attention span can be very, very short. And I understand not everyone always feels like it. But when I go on a live stream, if I'm enjoying it and I'm getting value, I stay on it for the 2 hours because I'm someone that likes learning. If someone's got something good to say and they can help me to be a better person and I'm enjoying it and I like them, I'm going to stay on the stream. Now, I'm not saying that you've got to stay on my stream to prove that you're patient, but what I'm saying is the fact that you've all stayed on this stream this long, well done, because it takes patience, you know. I was going to make a joke there, but I decided not to say the joke because it might not be funny. Wow, the word patience really come. By the way, guys and girls, if you want to follow me on TikTok, you can. Let me give you the name. I'm new to this. It's quite exciting. I started posting videos already. Let's have a look. Right, so what's my name on TikTok? It's Jonathan Confidence Coach at JonathanCoach40. I think that's I think that's it. I'm sure you'll find me anyway at Jonathan Coach. So if you guys want to follow me and girls on TikTok, I'm on there. I'm putting up some good videos, and I'm on Instagram as well. My Instagram is Confidence Coach. Please get your questions. We are coming to the end. Have I done 2 hours? Because I set a goal. It's got to be 1 hour 45. We'll go for a few minutes. Really enjoyed the stream, guys and girls. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm just going to I want to make some notes from this stream, and because a lot of you have given me ideas on things that you're struggling with, how I can help you, we can improve. Traveling. Talk to me about traveling. What was you saying? You want to travel, or you want me to speak on that? You know what, guys? This is your time now. I've done a lot of talking and teaching today. There's a lot to take in, so I appreciate that you will appreciate what I'm saying. Hey, Ola, nice to meet you. Is this the first time I've seen your name? If you're new to my channel, appreciate it. I can't seem to beat procrastination, even when I tried planning the whole day. Any ideas on how to beat this? Give me a second to think about that, because I've done a lot of videos on that, and I've done a lot of writing on that and processing. So let me just think about that for a second. So you're struggling with procrastination, and you've tried to plan things the whole day, but you still can't beat it. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, right? I'm sure you appreciate that. If you've tried and you keep failing, then I think you should get a mentor. I think you should get a teacher. Now, I'm not saying that you need to get me or hire me, but you should get a teacher or a mentor, because I'm a huge believer in what my father taught me when I was younger and what I've learned. And my father said to me, you know, if you can't do something on your own and you can't find the strength, which is fine, then get help. And that's, for me, that's what being a man or a strong person is. Because obviously there's things in my life, Ola, that I couldn't do on my own, and I kept trying and banging my head against a brick wall. So I went and got help, and I was able to do it, and you feel great. But I will do more videos on it because it's a struggle. But where was it? I wrote something really meaningful the other day about procrastination. I went very deep. Well, what's happening is, Ola, and this happens to a lot of people, procrastination is a defense mechanism. Procrastination is fear. Procrastination is anxiety. Procrastination is human nature. So we set about to start a business. We set about to start a diet. We set about to find a relationship. We say, tomorrow I'm going to change my life. There's no more eating bad food. But when tomorrow comes, what happens? Like my mentor, Jeff, would say, the person that set the goal is not the same person who's saying, I'm not going to do it. That's the defense mechanism. So being aware of why you're procrastinating, the part of you that is coming in and stopping you, is also important. But I would also ask as well, what's your purpose? What's your vision? And that will also help. You know, I want to be honest with you guys. I'm not a big fan of the word procrastination. It doesn't personally offend me or upset me, but I feel like it's a polite word. It's almost become a politically correct word for fear. Procrastination is fear, really. It's anxiety. You know, And that's fine. It's another word for the same thing. So again, it's anxiety. The reason why you're not doing the things that you want to do is because you're scared to do it. And you have anxiety, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you know my story, I've been afraid so many times in my life, I've lost account. But the honesty is good that you've been honest about it. But now it's figuring out, asking yourself a question, or any of you that are procrastinating, do you really want to overcome this? Because I honestly believe if a person is 100% committed to achieving a goal, no one can stop them. No one can stop them, and that will overcome procrastination. Procrastination is often because a person has not fully committed to doing the things that they say that they are going to do and they want to do. They're a bit like one foot in, one foot out. And I guess that's been when I think about it, I've been coaching for 12 years. And what have I been coaching and teaching? Well, I've been teaching my clients how to overcome procrastination, which is really a new word for fear, anxiety, self-doubt. So what's your purpose? What's your goal? What's your vision? Maybe figure a way where you can take the pressure off, because sometimes people say too much as opposed to what they can do. So someone, for an example, I've had clients that will say, right, we do a coaching session, we sit down over coffee, and I say, right, get your phone out. Now, I want you to write down the list of all the things that you want to do, and I'm going to help you to do it by next session. And they'll go, right, I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to see my family. I'm going to see a friend. I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to do a public talk. Great. But there's a lot of things to do. That might be too much. So maybe you're trying to do too many things, whereas what I would say to someone who's really struggling with procrastination, focus on one thing at a time. For example, when you wake up in the morning, instead of leaving glasses and cups out without cleaning them and washing them, when you wake up in the morning, say your prayers and your gratitude, fix your bed, and go and put the glasses in the sink. These little habits are exactly what you need to overcome procrastination in all areas of life. It's all about habits, attitude, discipline, teaching and programming yourself how to move. Because basically, when people procrastinate, they physically become paralyzed by fear. The inner conversation, the emotions, the distractions, it's the distractions. Look, guys are getting me passionate now. So the two words of today's talk that I've learned is patience and procrastination. Right, where are we? Where did I write this down today? I wrote down this about this. Yeah, I wrote this down. I read it earlier. This is about procrastination, anxiety. Anxiety. The mind will always try and distract you from living your purpose on a daily basis. Back to the gentleman's question. So every time you try and do your goals, your task, for example, let's say I'm working with a client. I've worked with a lot of clients who are studying at university. They're studying to major in their degree, and they've got to obviously do their coursework, or they've got to study for a certain amount of hours. But every time they go towards studying, their mind comes in and says, let's go on YouTube. Let's look at Netflix. Let's get some snacks. Let's start daydreaming. Let me focus on my problems in life. All part of the mind trying to trick you and pull you away. So you've got to make a decision and say no. No, you've got to train your mind and say, we are focusing on studying today. Just for an example, let me just get me really passionate. And this coffee's kicking in. So let's say that I've got to read this book. I've said to myself, right, tomorrow, I want to read Tyson Fury's book for 2 hours. I have to read 2 hours tomorrow at a certain time. So when I go to read the book, what happens? My mind comes in, oh, you got to pay your rent. Oh, what about this problem? Or you got to do this. Or what about that? No, I got to cut it all out and say, None of that matters right now. All that matters is I got to read this book. And when I sit down and start reading this book, when my mind starts coming up with stories and saying, but you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to go here, you got to think about this, you got to think about that. I'm training my mind to come back in. And when my emotions start coming up and the fears and the anxieties and the nervousness or all these emotions, I'm breathing and I'm sitting down and we open the book and we say, right, here's the book. We start reading, we beat procrastination. So procrastination is mental discipline, emotional discipline, and it's making a decision to talk to yourself in a respectful but a strong way, like I'm speaking now, and saying, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Or you're going to have to live with the consequences of letting yourself down. And that's for all of us. And this is the way that I motivate myself every day. Today, truth be known, my mind tried to stop me doing this live stream. I love speaking to you guys. I love teaching. I love spending the time with you. You guys help me, girls. I love it. But I'm human. And I've got the mind the same as you have. And my mind plays its tricks and says, oh, but, you know, you worked hard today, Jonathan. You did the run. You've done a lot of work. You're helping your clients. You did emails. You put stuff up on Instagram. You put stuff up on TikTok. Yeah, but I made a commitment. I made a commitment to do at least 2 hours live stream. And I said that yesterday. I made a commitment to everybody. And I said, I'm not going to be selfish because part of our selfish nature, we don't want to give at times because of fear and anxiety. And then my mind tried to trick me. Oh, but you haven't eaten any food. You're hungry. You should eat food first. No, I had some food earlier on. I'll have food after the stream. It's trying to trick me. Then the mind says, yeah, but you don't have a haircut. You don't have a beard cut. Well, I'll go and get a beard cut. Yeah, but it's going to be too late. No, it's not. So I won the battle. I won the war. And I'm here. I'm doing the stream. And I've almost achieved my goal, which is to give everything I can give, value, teach, help, do a live stream for 2 hours. Once the 2 hour mark's done, I can end the stream and I've stuck to it. That is the mindset. That is the heart set. When you make a promise to yourself, guys or girls, if you don't keep the promise and you keep doing that, you are never going to fulfill your potential. And it's not because you're not good enough. And it's not because you're not smart enough or you're not attractive enough. It's because you're not disciplined enough and you don't want it bad enough. So it's very important. Can't be overlooked. Good to see you, Tom. It's been a while. Really enjoyed this, Jonathan. My question is, how do you connect to your masculine core and live from there? Thanks again, brother. How do I? By just being me. That's not something that I think about, to be honest, Tom. I don't sit, and I appreciate your question, but I don't sit around asking myself how to do that because I already am that. I already am masculine. But the question I do ask myself, if this does help you, right? And I'm not being patronizing, is how can I be a better person? How can I treat people with respect? How can I be more kind and more gentle and a gentleman to everybody? And how can I be more patient? That's what I ask myself through faith. And that gives me the strength. But regarding the masculine thing, I never really had a problem with that. Maybe when I was younger. To answer your question, if you're struggling with that personally, I would say exercising and training. But I know what you're asking me and I understand it. But for me personally, it's not a thing that I worry about or think about, maybe in the way that you think and worry about for you personally, right? Because you're your own person. So that's my answer. But I understand a lot of men are challenged by that. And I think that's something that men have to learn through maybe having a mentor like me or someone else or a good example, and through personal discipline. Thanks to the info. I think I would need some personal coaching on this. How can I reach out? What I'll do is I'll give you my email address and you can contact me. And if I can help you, then I will. I know a lot of men might not want to hear this, but that's fine, you know. Um, I would say to a lot of men out there who are struggling, at least they're under the assumption that they're not masculine enough or they don't know how to be masculine. I would honestly get them to focus on being a kinder, more loving person. And I know a lot of men, they won't want to hear it. That's fine. They won't like what I'm saying. But those that are ready will hear that and appreciate that. And it's things that I had to learn. But sometimes men, brilliant, love David Goggins, highly recommend it. David Goggins is a great man. He's been a huge help to me. I think you'll learn a lot from David Goggins because David Goggins, for me, has got the right balance of kindness, respect, humility, and being a strong person. So I think guys have got to get the right understanding because there's a lot of misinformation on how to be men, and men end up doing it the wrong way. And if you think by being insecure and being a bully, that's not the way to be a man. You want to be kind, strong, and confident in yourself. And the more confident you are, you don't have to overcompensate. So yeah, obviously it's going to take time and patience. Fear and anxiety. Yep. You know, on the subject of this, I hope this can help a lot of people because the question that was asked by Tom has made me realize this, and I'm trying to be more patient as well. And remember, when some of you are asking me questions, you're not asking me where I'm at, you're asking me where you're at. And I just realized that, right? I'm still learning. So when I was in my 20s and I was going through struggles of confidence, I'd been bullied, I'd fought back, but I was quite insecure. And I was overly asserting myself because I was so insecure to be dominant and all those things. And I realized it weren't the right way. So joining an amateur boxing club, going through physical sparring, having a dust up in the ring, toughened me up, but in a way where it made me realize I want to be more kinder, more loving towards my fellow man. I don't want to be in a room where I'm trying to dominate, I'm trying to bully, I'm trying to control, because that comes from insecurity. And that's not being a strong man. And I got myself around men that were stronger than me, kinder than I was, smarter than I was, and more secure. And I noticed, they're not trying to bully people. They're not trying to control me. They're not trying to stare at me. They're not, wow. You know, I want to be like that. How have they got there? Well, it's because they're confident in themselves. They don't need to. They don't need to go around bullying people. They don't need to go around going, I'm a man, I'm tough, I'm masculine. They don't need to do that because they already were confident. And that's what's really started to change my whole view and thinking on masculinity. But that doesn't mean, I'm not saying be a snowflake. That's not what I'm saying. I believe a man should be strong. But I believe the balance of being a man is being kind, respecting women, respecting your family, treating people with respect, not being a bully, but also being tough and being strong and not letting someone bully you or push you around. And you learn that through faith, through discipline, through respect. And I honestly believe, I'm not saying that this could be right for every man, but I do believe that martial arts teaches you how to be a stronger man and a better person. And I can honestly say this, a lot of women help me to be a better man by making me realize that I don't need to be something that I'm not. I don't have to act tough to prove to them that I'm this or that. I need to find love in myself. I need to be a good man. And that's really what really changed me over the years. So, you know, that's been true in my experience. But yeah, you know, learn from the best. Amazing stream today, man. Some great things have come out as they always do. If you've gotten a lot out of this stream, please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend if they enjoy it, because we want to help as many men and women and people who are suffering with an anxiety disorder to build more confidence, live a better life, and move forward in their life. The strongest men that I've been around, the strongest men, the most strongest masculine men have been the most kindest, gentle, no bullying in them at all. These are the best men that I've been around. I say this with no judgment. The weakest men that I've been around have been aggressive, have overcompensated, have been manipulative, have tried to be something they're not, and it's not impressed me, and I didn't learn much. I guess what I did learn is to have compassion and patience, because there was a time in my life where I was like that, where I behaved like that, because I was insecure and I was trying to overcompensate for what I was lacking. So there is a balance, and it's something that you've really got to, if you don't know what the balance is, you've got to get a mentor. And I'm being straight, and I know a lot of men are not going to want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sometimes you need a woman to teach you how to be a man. So it's not always a man. It can be in some cases, but it's not always a man needs to teach a man how to be a man. Sometimes a woman has got to teach a man how to grow up and be a man. And I've been mentored by both good examples of what it means. And it's really about, being a loving person. But obviously that's a journey, and that takes time and work. But the more you want to learn, the more you're going to grow. But just ask yourself this question. This can help you. How would you want the next man to treat you? Be honest. Would you want him to bully you? Would you want him to disrespect you? Would you want him to be nasty to you? I'm sure anyone in their right mind is going to say, of course not. So why would you think, or why would you feel that you'd be any different? So I've always learned the quickest way that I've always got respect from other men is by showing them respect, and by being myself, and I get the respect back. Now, of course, in some cases, some of you might say, yeah, but I gave respect and someone took advantage of me, or this guy. It happens in life. Yes, life. To which I would say, that's when you got to learn how to stand up for yourself. Worst case scenario. And a lot of the times that can be by being the bigger man and walking away from the situation. Or if worst case scenario, of course, someone's trying to physically assault you and hurt you, self-defense. But I find the better place you're at, those things don't really happen. And, when I worked with Jeff Thompson, if you know Jeff's story, Jeff was a tough guy. Jeff was violent when he was younger. In his own words, he got bullied, he changed. And when I worked with Jeff, one of the best lessons I got from Jeff was how kind he was. He wasn't a bully, he was a gentleman, and he helped me to be a better man. So learn from good men, and he was kind. So people can change, because I changed, Jeff changed. So anyone out there on the stream, guys, that are going for a stage where they might be being aggressive because they're hurt, because they feel like they have to be, because if they don't, other men are going to disrespect them. You've got to work it. And faith helps a lot, faith. I think that's the problem that a lot of men have today, where they get confused. They think that being tough means they've got to be aggressive and they've got to put fear into other men. They don't realize that's not being tough. That's not being a man. That's being weak. Being a man is taking responsibility for your life and having a good attitude, and and treating people how you want to be treated. And that's what I've learned, and I'm still learning. And I learned from great men. Look at the way that Tyson Fury treats people. Obviously, yeah, people are going to say, "Oh, I know how kind he is." Look at the way that Muhammad Ali treated people. He was kind. He's loved. That's being a man. Look at the way that David Goggins treats people. Yeah, when he's doing his runs, great. He's motivated. He's talking about not being a coward, being tough. Yeah, talking to himself but look how he conducts himself. A gentleman, good manners, good respect. That's for me. That's how you be a better man. I learned from great men. I learned from Les Brown. Again, kind. He's not a bully. He's honest. He's a gentleman. And he's a strong man. If he wasn't a kind, strong man, he couldn't have played a part in stopping me committing suicide in my 20s, and he helped me to change my life. I'm still grateful for that. So there you go, man. There's a lesson. And I don't know. I don't know everything, but I know enough, and that's what I've learned and continue to learn myself. Because we're all on a journey, and it doesn't matter what age you are. We're all trying to be better men, better people. We've gone over time here, but that's because I'm having so much fun with you guys. Yeah, that's what I love about the boxers and boxing that I learned. It's invaluable lessons that I learned in my 20s because, you know, when you're younger or whatever age you're at, you've got ideas of how people are. And some people are under the assumption that because someone's a boxer in the ring and they see them fighting and it's a sport and they're strong, that they're going to be aggressive and violent and they're going to bully you. But when you meet them in person, they're absolute gentlemen in most cases, most boxers that I've met. But they're deadly in the ring. And obviously, if you try to take advantage of them, bully them, because they're confident and they don't need to be nasty. And I think if anyone is doing that, I'm trying not to judge, right? Because I try and learn from my faith, and we shouldn't. I'm only human. But if anyone's going about their business like that, it's because they're not in a good place, and they're in a very bad place. So you hope and pray that they can get the help and change, because God was patient with me. So I need to appreciate. I might not like someone's behavior, but I have to understand there was a point in my life where I wasn't always nice to people because they weren't nice to me, and I felt like, well, I'm going to retaliate. And I had to later learn that you don't succeed in life like that. That doesn't help you in the long run, and you don't feel good about the guilt. Will tell you apart later on. Of course, we'll living and learning. No one's perfect, but as I said, it's not an excuse to not be your best. So yeah, take up boxing for any of you, and it will help you to get that balance of how to be a good man, a masculine man, but a kind man, who has respect for people, who respects women and himself and other people, and has that confidence where he doesn't have to prove himself and try and be tough and all those kind of things. And then you get the respect anyway. Men sense it. We're not silly. We're not stupid. We sense when a man is strong and a good man. He doesn't need to show he's this and he's that. The more you've got to show, the more insecure you are. Kind of learning myself as we're going through this. Great question, though. Right, we are officially finished. This has been a fantastic stream. If there's any last questions or last takeaways, go ahead, guys. I'm just appreciating and processing the conversation, stream, the confidence coaching, and the heart, open-hearted thing that we've spoken about today. It's been amazing. Oh, by the way, guys, if you don't mind, right, I will ask you this, right? Please pray for me and help me if you can. I want to go on more podcast shows. I want to help more people, men and women, and share my story because a lot of you know it. And I know it's going to come. Again, patience. I really want to do it. I didn't want to do it before, but now I'm in the right place. I did an interview recently. I really enjoyed it, for a company, a good guy on Instagram. I got another guy that reached out who follows my stuff, likes me, and he's got a platform. He's a good guy, and I said I'll do the interview for him next. I've got another one coming up. I want to do as many as I can, for as long as I can, to educate and share my story, especially the second part of my story, with how I overcame a mental health breakdown. I didn't do it on my own, but with faith and everything else, to help more men and women, at least to share my story and see how they feel about it, how it can help them. And I like the challenge of it. I enjoy it. It's a good anxiety that makes me excited, meeting great people that have got good platforms and coming on their show and speaking. I'm excited about that. So yeah, that'll be it for today, guys. Appreciate coming on. Well done to everyone, for being honest and working on your anxieties. And it's a daily thing, keep going, keep practicing. And I'll speak to all of you soon. We'll aim for a live stream every week. I'm going to try and stick to the Saturday. If I can't do a Saturday, I'll let you guys know, because I'll be with family, friends. But we'll do another day. But we'll try and aim for the Saturday, and we'll keep going. But yeah, I could go on and on and on, because it's been so great. But I've got to eat my dinner. Appreciate all of you. I'll get back to your email by this weekend. And yeah, it was great. I learned a lot today. I'm going to go away, make some notes from the stream, especially about patience and procrastination, and then we'll continue. All right. Appreciate all your support. You guys and girls are wonderful. All right. Have a good evening. I'll speak to you soon.